In the year 1236, Sultan Najm al-Din Ayyub besieged the city of Al-Rahba in Sharia country, proud of the strength of his army and confident of victory. However, he soon realized his mistake, as the army that was supposed to attack the city began to fight with some of its members. This was due to a group of soldiers called the Khwarezmians, who, despite their strength, were more like mercenaries fighting for money and coveting the city. Sultan Najm al-Din Ayyub and a group of his most loyal men barely managed to escape. With difficulty and amidst attempts by his opponents to kill or capture him, he managed to reach Egypt. There he sat confused, as on the one hand he realized his need to use these mercenaries to strengthen his army, and on the other hand he realized that those who were loyal to money had no loyalty to it. After listening to his advisors from his entourage, he decided to establish an army of child Mamluks. So he sent someone to buy them from the slave markets and stipulated that their ages should not exceed 12 years. And he got what he wanted, and the Battle of Ain Jalut and the Mongol Wars came to prove the correctness of his opinion. Over the course of nearly 400 years, the Mamluks made a place for themselves in history and contributed to political and cultural events in addition to the military. Now, let us move in time to the year 1917 in Russia, where the communist revolution broke out. The soldiers of the Red Army, loyal to the revolution, fought with the soldiers of the White Army loyal to the Tsar. Finally, the Red Army succeeded in imposing its control, and the Soviet Union was established. Due to his lack of confidence in the army leadership of the old guard, Stalin decided to establish an army of peasants' sons who would later be known as Stalin's battalions. He got what he wanted. World War II came to prove the validity of his opinion. They were distinguished by their efficiency and courage, so much so that some historians consider them one of the reasons for the Soviet Union's victory in the war. Despite this, as soon as the war ended, their mention in history was cut off as if they were a short story. But why? Why did Stalin fail in what Najm al-Din Ayyub had succeeded in 7 centuries before him? The first reason is who was the cause. The wars and natural disasters that struck their country and were the reason for their falling into slavery had nothing to do with Sultan Najm al-Din in Egypt. On the contrary, the transfer to the Mamluk camp represented a lifeline for these boys, and from a life of slavery and its humiliation to a world where they were treated as future leaders. While in Soviet Russia, the boys lived reassuredly with their fathers. Then the army soldiers came to take them by force and transfer them to inhuman army camps in a process similar to detention, which created in them anger towards authority in the state. The second reason is the education system of the Mamluks, which consists of 3 stages. The first stage is that the Mamluk is sent to one of the sheikhs to learn the sciences of religion and language. This stage takes 2 years, during which the Mamluk is not trained in fighting or carrying a sword. If his sheikh testifies to his knowledge in literature, he is transferred to the second stage, where he learns the arts of fighting, such as sword fighting and archery. If he masters them, he is transferred to the third stage, where he learns the arts of administration, making plans, and solving the problems he encounters. The result is that the Mamluks are raised on loyalty to the religion that was instilled in them as children, loyalty to the country that they do not know as a homeland, and loyalty to the Sultan. There is no better evidence of this. This is because Sultan Najmuddin was called among them the teacher, which indicates respect and appreciation. As for the Soviet experience, there was no attempt to educate or instill a sense of belonging, but rather training in fighting and killing with all cruelty. The Soviet leadership was aware of this, and now with their arming for the conditions of war, they have acquired the strength and desire for revenge, and Stalin would not have waited until they declared rebellion. Therefore, it was not strange that Stalin, who ordered the establishment of these battalions, was the same one who ordered their liquidation, whether by arrest or killing. And in the Siberian camps in the North Pole, you either die of hunger or freeze to death, or you are lucky and die. Killed. Even if we should take a lesson from this, tyranny and cruelty do not build a state, but justice and good governance do.